can't even go live, and we need more followers. So make sure to help us. Make sure to go to therealrileys.com /social and follow all those. They're all brand new accounts, including this one. So trying to get everything up and running. My name is Curtis Riley, and welcome to the live stream, aka Preach from the Real Rileys. And today, I am attempting to save your marriage. That's my goal. So, something I could not do for myself, but I do believe that God can do it for you and for your marriage, no matter where you're at and what stage you're at. And we are going to be talking about the conflict resolution rules. And so, in order to really understand what we're talking about and to follow along, make sure to go to, and let me get this chat going here. Make sure it's really simple. Just go to www. There we go. therealrileys.com. Boom. I put that in the chat. You can just click on that. You can also click on the description, and I've got tons of links in the description for you guys, no matter what we're going on, or you can click on our bio and you'll be able to see that as well. The link in bio is just our website, because that's where everything you need is going to be. But I want to encourage you to download. It's a free PDF and mini course. You can get the conflict resolution rules. Download that. Go there, get that now so you can see what we're talking about. I'm going to walk through it. I'm going to give you a behind the scenes of what this freebie actually looks like. Super helpful, and I guarantee it will help your marriage, no matter where you're at. If you've been in, I was gonna say if your marriage sucks, don't do that. But if you have been in an argument, if you've been in an argument or had like something not go well, you had some type of conflict, just type conflict in the chat. Welcome, guys, on TikTok. I see a bunch of people jumping on. Hey, we're talking about marriage today and how you can save your marriage, going through the conflict resolution rules that I have created for you guys. These rules are really cool. They're a combination. For those of you who don't know, I was a pastor for 13 years. I was married for 17 years. And these rules are a combination of the plethora, fun word, right? That's a ton of books that I read on marriage, the series that I've done on marriage, the counseling that I personally went through for my marriage. And these are just really helpful rules to get through some conflict. I've combined them. I've found different things and come up with different ways to say them and remember them for myself. So get that, therealrileys.com, download the conflict resolution rules, and I will pick at the end of the Q&A, which again, this is a Q&A. So if you have questions, put them in the chat, type them in the comments, let me know. You can send them to me, and we are going to hit some Q&A. If you have any questions about marriage, hit me up about conflict, about marriage, about parenting. I've had a lot of questions about parenting after a couple videos came out on that, on discipline for your children. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, just hit me up with whatever questions you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll do my best to answer them in a way that I feel like the Bible lines up with that. So, because I think that's the most helpful, because I do believe that God's the one who designed marriage and designed the family. So, again, this is our marriage channel. We have other channels as well, how-tos. We're hijacking the how-to page right now on Facebook. So make sure to follow all the social media there. We've got online business, we've got ministry, and there's one just on faith in general. So, but we're going to get into this, and I'll pick one person who downloads the conflict resolution rules today to give you 50% off of whatever product you want from any of those channels that you want. So make sure to download that, and I'll pick someone for that. If you've already got it, just send me a message, say, hey, I've already got it, and I'll put you in the running as well. Now, we're going to get started. I'm just going to give you, like I said, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to give you, and hopefully you guys can see that as well here. You can see that a little bit. I'm going to tilt it a little bit, get that glare off there for the people on TikTok. And here is, I'm going to pop myself on there. There we go. And here is what we're talking about, the conflict resolution rules. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is the PDF that you will get when you download that. Again, if you argue, if you have fights, if you guys are like always yelling at each other, this will save your marriage. This is so good. It's so good. Now, I'll be completely honest. I am not good at applying some of these things, and you can apply these things to anything. any type of relationship, any type of argument. This really applies to any conflict. But we see a lot of conflict in marriage. If you are married, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the PDF. Here's what it looks like. And here are the conflict rules. I made this PDF so that you can, a couple things that you could do with it that I would recommend. You could save it as a screen on your phone or a PDF on your phone. Just screenshot this right here. Or you can print it off. And I actually put a black and white version. If you're like, hey, pink doesn't match my house, fine. Print this off, put it on your refrigerator. And so let's run through these rules. It's the same thing, just a black and white version in case you don't like bright pink, which kind of represents the channel that we talk about marriage, family, conflict, stuff like that. And just trying to keep it real for all this stuff. So, number one, if you look through here, you can see there's 10 different rules. You've got don't blare. And they all start with B. You're welcome. Maybe I'm just weird, but I like that. I heard somebody the other day who was like, oh man, I like that. I like how they all start with the same letter. Me too. Makes me happy because I used to be a pastor and preach sermons, and I like that. I think it makes things easier to remember, and it just makes things more fun. Don't blare. Number one. In other words, don't yell. Like, and again, this is like the ideal situation. You're going to have to like really focus on these. You're not going to nail this the first time. I got more tips, and I'll share more tips with how to actually apply this and what it looks like in a real disagreement in um, the conflict crusher. That is a course that you can take if you're interested in learning more about that. But don't blare, don't yell. And each one of these has a Bible verse that kind of backs it up. Again, I think this is wisdom that comes from God. He's the one who created marriage in the first place. So don't yell. If you cannot yell, probably even if you just apply this one rule in your marriage and you're trying not to argue and not to fight, if you could just say, I'm not going to yell, that would probably change your life. It probably would, because that's where so many like emotions and everything. So don't yell, don't blare. Number two, I'm going down, then we'll come down the other side here, is don't belittle. You're trying not to say hurtful things to the other person or use disrespectful names. That was for me something that I had to really work on and get rid of. It was a defense mechanism, I guess, for me, that I had to get rid of, to belittle, disrespect, or be hurtful. Next one, don't beat a dead horse. In other words, don't say the same exact thing you just said. Like, you just said that. You're repeating yourself. Don't do that. I'll give you examples of these all and how they work again in the Conflict Crusher. So you can check that out if you're interested. But again, this is for you to download for free. You can check it out. Don't blow out of proportion. This is like when we're like overgeneralizing and we're saying things, we're making a bigger deal than it is, or we're saying like you did something, but maybe you've done it a couple times and it's like, no, you always do that. Well, you're kind of blowing that out of proportion, right? And we're not being realistic. Don't bunny trail. This is we're discussing one thing and then all of a sudden we start discussing something else. If you're trying to work through a conflict and through a disagreement and you're trying to say, hey, let's figure this out, and then before you know it, another conversation jumps in and now you're trying to figure out 5 problems at one time and you haven't figured out the one problem. So don't bunny trail. The next one is don't be broad. This is just the idea of like, let's speak plainly, openly, clearly, try to communicate well. Don't make sentences. Don't talk, use sentences or make sentences. Don't make words. Don't word things that are, if you're just like, what does that even mean? Like, that's not very clear. So try to be specific, try to communicate clearly. The next one here is don't bring up the past. This will, again, kind of like a bunny trail, but this will sidetrack your conflict, your disagreement in your marriage or any relationship that you're in. This will get you off really quick. You're talking about one thing, the conflict that's happening, and then all of a sudden you're back to talking about something from 5 years ago. That's like, wait, we've already talked about that, or maybe you haven't, but you're no longer talking about the issue of today. So don't bring up the past. The next one here, don't block out. This one is, I would say this is another challenging one for me. Don't block out. And what do I mean by that? I mean, Make sure that you're truly listening to the other person to understand. And sometimes if we're not, trying to understand, we might not really be listening. We might be just saying, hey, well, here's how I'm going to respond. But the goal is like you're just blocking them out. Don't do that. Listen to try to listen and to understand. It looks like number 9 here. Don't be bitter. This is like this ruins your chance of conflict resolution, successful conflict resolution. And that's the thing too, is like every marriage and every relationship, you're going to have conflict. That's not a bad thing, but it doesn't have to turn into an argument or a fight or something bad. It could be something that is good and successful, right? Don't be bitter. But if you're bitter, you've got to forgive. Don't go in with revenge. Don't go in with anger. If you are bitter when you're having a conflict, it's not gonna go well from the beginning. You sabotage yourself because things aren't just they're not gonna go well. Even if someone is like, they come in and they have really good intentions and they're really trying, you're bitter, you're angry, you haven't forgiven, you're going to view what they're doing in a bad way. That bitterness is going to eat you up. Don't do that. Ephesians 4 32 talks about that. And then the last one, this is kind of an interesting one, but don't bulldoze. It says here, I wrote, find helpful solutions together. And what do I mean to bulldoze someone is to say, no, here's what we're going to do. Here's the solution to our problem. Like, well, wait a minute. Are you okay? Like, can we find something that we both agree on? Can we find like a win-win for everybody? Or is it just your way or the highway? And I'm telling you, you look at all these rules and you go back through these, pray about these, think about these. Oh my goodness. Bring this to your next disagreement. Print this off. Take a screenshot of it. Bring it to your next disagreement and it'll change so many things. You're going to look at your disagreement and you're going to be like, I had no idea I was blocking out. I had no idea I was blaring. I had no idea I was bringing up the past. Like you're going to find all these things. This is going to help you so much. I guarantee it. So print this off, take it with you in your next conflict. Maybe you have a conflict right now, something that you're like, we just can't work through this. Try these, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. And a lot of times you have to break habits in order to create new habits. Same thing for me. I had to break a lot of bad habits. I still have some bad habits that I'm still working on. And then bonus here, if you keep scrolling through, these are just 2 of the books that I recommend. I just did a review on Marriage on the Rock. Great book. Love and Respect. Also a great book. And does it mean that everything in these books are like perfect or line up with everything exactly with the Bible? No, not 100%, but they're really good, really helpful. They'll get you headed in the right direction. I've got the links for those in there. And then you can see the Conflict Crusher. If you want to get more in depth on these rules, you want to walk through what it actually looks like in a real conversation. I can give you examples of what it looks like in a real conflict. You're going to check that out, and I'll give you some bonuses there as well. So make sure to check out that course. If you want to get that, you can go to therealrileys.com and you can click on that. And then marriage mentoring. If you're just like, hey, let's take this a step farther. This is coming out soon. This is, again, if you didn't know, I was a pastor for 13 years. This is what I would take people through before I would agree to marry them. And the biblical foundations for a happy, healthy marriage is basically what it is. And so if you're interested in learning that, some people get married, a lot of people get married and they like never learned that at all. So if you never learned, how God designed marriage and the foundations of marriage, check that out. That's going to be super helpful for you. But please download the conflict resolution rules. If you got questions, type them in the chat. Let me know right now what questions you have. You can throw those in there. And if you got any questions on live on TikTok, if you guys got any questions, let me know. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to follow whatever you're watching on. Follow our channel. That really helps support us so we can keep making stuff like this that is really helpful for you guys. Again, if you want to get your free gift, you can go to therealrileys.com. You can get that. There's tons of free things. This is just a behind the scenes of one of them. Just wanted to show you guys what it looks like and how it can really help you. So get that. Again, if you want to support what we're doing, especially if you see some of the elements that we're doing, like marriage and ministry and faith as a ministry, feel free to support us. That is super awesome. Can't do it without your guys' support. You can go to therealrileys.com/support if you want to donate anything, if you want to become like a monthly partner. Every little bit helps us so we can keep making content just like this. And again, if you have questions, let me know. Type those in there. If you're watching this later and you have questions, type it in there, put it in the comments. I'm going to be responding to some of those in daily shorts. We have new content that comes out every single day, and we have in short formats, and then we have long form, if you will, that comes out once a week. Really helpful stuff on YouTube. And then we're going live about once a month. The best way to figure that out, realrise.com/email, or follow us on social media. But email is the best one. I always send out an email, let you guys know before we go live. So if you guys have questions about marriage, about anything, even about me, I'm an open book. So let me know what questions you guys have. But these are super helpful. So again, this is like not like, hey, look at Curtis's ideas. Like some of these are my ideas, but the majority of them I've pulled from tons of different resources, kind of reworded them, reorganized them, and picked some of the most helpful conflict resolution rules that guaranteed will help your marriage. So comment below. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I think that's about all I got for today, but I do want to end and I want to pray for you guys. Again, if you don't know me, I am spiritual, religious. I love Jesus. I want you to know Jesus. You got to trust and turn, believe and repent, and you can be saved. It's not about being perfect. It's because Jesus was perfect. Otherwise, I'd have no hope either. So, anyways, if you guys got questions about that, you can comment below. Follow our faith channel for more stuff on that. But I do want to pray for you guys because marriage is difficult. Marriage is hard. I get that. So let me pray for you and we'll jump off here. Dear Jesus, we just thank you for today. Thank you for this time we get together and have some fun going live and talk about these conflict resolution rules. I pray for everyone who's watching this video live or anyone who watches it later. I pray that you would give them all of the characteristics of you that they need to apply these rules. I pray for healing in their marriages. I pray that you would save marriages, that you would even help people who aren't even married yet in their relationships to bless their marriages. And I just pray that you bless everyone. I pray that you heal any marriages that need healing and restoration, and that these conflict resolution rules would be a blessing to their relationships. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys, I appreciate you joining me again. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for hanging out and keep it real.